I have spent months shopping for supplies and dreaming of what my new apothecary would be like. What I wanted was a dream like this, but what I had was a mess. I spent so much time searching, going to the next room, to the next cabinet, rifling through one mess after another.
Oh gosh, this is a wreck.
Usually to no avail. I really needed to do that makeover. So when my friend Kara over at Pagan Crafting did this show and spell tag where she showed her apothecary, I thought, this is it. I'm doing it. I'm making it happen. So grab yourself a cup of tea and join me for this wild ride, because whenever you do a home improvement project, there's always pitfalls. And after 30 years of working with herbs, I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted and why I wanted it. I'm going to answer some of the questions from the show and spell tag while I show you my complete makeover. I started by cleaning my entire kitchen because when you have ADHD, that's what you do, or you just can't seem to get anything else done. In this way, I get to give you an update on my chicken Emily, who was attacked. She is recovering, and that is actually skin on her back, so she's doing really great. Apparently, I don't make a good game show host assistant. Yeah, I'll be keeping my day job. The plan was to put shelves up above there so that everything would be neat and in sight and in one place. I dabbled with herbs in my early 20s, but after my divorce, I decided that I would have a business where I sold magical herbal items like magical salts and such. Fun fact, if you've ever wondered what those spots are on your wall, it's spider poop, and we have plenty of that on the farm. But where we start is not where we end. I can tell you that herbs are a labor of love unless you are selling them in mass quantities, so quickly I moved on from that. My love affair with herbs has continued, and it has morphed, and I would tell you this, that where we start is not where we end. So keep experimenting with herbs, keep finding what works for you. One of the things that I found as I was going through my herbs this time is that there were things that I just really wasn't using, that maybe I had a fantasy that I would use those herbs, but I wasn't. So I got rid of them. It's okay. It feels good to me to really have a good, strong relationship with the herbs that I work with. And almost everything that I really work with, I harvest myself on the farm. There are things that I buy. But one of the questions on Show and Spell is, what are some of your favorite herbs and why? So some of the herbs that I work with magically the most are marigolds. I absolutely love marigolds for boosting spells. They bring that like bright solar energy in and kind of give it a little bit of oomph. I use cinnamon a lot. I love it for just year round, again, for prosperity and bringing up the energy in a spell. I like roses for healing and protection. You may be thinking like, why roses for protection? But I feel like they bring me back to my body, grounding me and allowing me to really be my best self and in my most powerful state. I burn a lot of time in ritual for cleansing the whole area. I find that that herb and I really get along, and it's easy to grow here and easy to dry. Here in Oregon, we don't get hard snow, so I can even harvest it in winter. As far as medicinal herbs go, I absolutely love the mint family. I harvest a lot of calendula, and I use that for making oil for body products. I have osha root in my collection, and I would say to you, make sure that you're getting it from a reputable source. This is really over harvested, and you should be buying from native peoples, possibly on the reservation, so that you know that it's sourced ethically. But it is absolutely excellent for lung care. I'm prone to kind of like weird ear stuff, so I make garlic and mullein flower ear oil, and it just works wonderfully for me. There are definitely additions that I want to make to my apothecary. This time around, I only did 2 shelves because that's the wood that I had, but I really wanted to focus on my medicinal and magical herbs at this point. In the future, I plan on putting up 2 more shelves so that I can put all of my body care and soap crafting supplies up as well. If you're just building your apothecary for the first time, one of the things I would say is just take it slow. Get to know the herbs that you pick up one at a time, really work with them magically and personally, see what fits. You know, not all plants are meant to be our allies, and so taking that time to develop a relationship really allows you to just enjoy the unfolding of that and honor the plants. I think in today's consumer society, sometimes we feel like we have to have it all right now, and that's just not the truth. Take your time, take it slow, enjoy the process. Okay, confession time here. I am a jar addict. I really have a problem with collecting jars. Here's a whole box of bottles and jars I collected like long ago. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Just like, wow. Really dirty. Ooh, check this one out. That's cool. That's really cool. Does it have a cork in there? Ah, it does. It does have a cork. So cool. I really prefer glass for storage. I find that plastic tends to go stale a lot quicker because it's not a great seal. You can go thrifting and find all sorts of amazing finds. Just take your time and set out that intention to find that perfect vessel, and it just comes to you. I have some amazing pieces because I just waited for that moment. Like some kind of bird squabble outside. Thanks for the interruption, you guys. I only have what I consider a few true apothecary jars where they're glass on glass. Those seals are so nice. They keep the herbs really fresh, but I use a lot of canning jars. I mean, I live on a farm, and so I have a ton of canning jars, and I use those. I think they seal up really nicely. And then I collect old ball jars. I also like these little jars that kind of have the plastic rubber seals on them. I don't have a ton of cork jars because I feel like the herbs tend to go stale unless they're sealed with wax. So I use those for like display herbs, things that I'm not going to be ingesting or using for like potency, but rather maybe for looks. So hey, if you don't know me, I'm Hexa and this is Natural Witchery. I live in Oregon on an organic farm and I share here about my witchy life and my experience. I want to let you know that I have a newsletter that I send out once a week. You can sign up down below. When you do, you get access to my free learning library. The learning library has all sorts of printouts, and my weekly newsletter gives you tips and tricks on divination, as well as my witchy musings. I absolutely do label, and when I don't, I regret it. I bought these cute labels. They have different designs on them, and I really liked these little dots. I thought they'd be great for putting the year of the harvest on the bottles. So I set out to labeling my first jar. I worked carefully to try to get the label on straight. I'm not too sure that I succeeded. I bought these beautiful vintage washi stickers, and my goal was to have the label on one side and then the washi sticker on the other side so that I could turn the jars around and have a totally different look in the kitchen if I wanted to. And if you get a wrinkle with washi tape, it's really nice. You just pull it up and then press it back down, and it's really easy to manipulate. Unfortunately, I found that my pen was just rubbing off, and that was just not going to work. So I did a test with a Sharpie and found out that indeed the permanent marker is the way to go. However, I don't have a thin point Sharpie, so I opted to wait till later. I do suggest you label, and the reason is you'll just forget. You think you'll remember forever, but you don't. I have so many things that I go back and I'm like, what is this? I think I know, but I'm not sure. How old is it? Is it fresh? Should I actually use it for a concoction? Should I make tea with this? You know, so I think labeling is a great idea. Also, if you're making tinctures or oils, you want to know how old they are, especially oils. Oils go rancid. So having that date on there, like when you made it and what you put in it. I can't tell you how many times I've put down like one ingredient on a tincture and then I was like, wait, there's multiple things in here. So I do suggest labeling in your apothecary for freshness and for just knowing what the heck it is that you've done. As far as preservation goes, I think the key is making sure that you have a tight seal to keep freshness in. The other thing is keeping it away from light and also heat. Cold, I don't know if cold is as much of an issue, but definitely keeping things out of the sun unless you're infusing an oil. For the most part, herbs do not like heat. So for most of the video, when I was doing all of the grubby work, I was just in my regular clothes because yeah, like when I do work like that, I'm not some content creator who's dressed like a fashion diva. But before I went to put all of my herbs back on the shelf, I decided that I would dress up ceremonially. I've been in a bit of a slump as far as clothing goes. Do you ever get there where you're just like, you hate everything that you have? So I went ahead and gave myself a little mini makeover and ordered this dress that I'm wearing here. Oh my goodness. I feel like $1 million in this dress, I have to tell you. I've been slowly making over my wardrobe for the last 3 months, and I'm going to do a video on that with all of the great places I bought my clothes at. Anyway, back to my apothecary. With no further ado, the final unveiling of what it looks like when it's all done. I'm really happy with my apothecary and how it turned out. If you made it this far in the video, please leave me 2 skulls down below and tell me whether or not you have an apothecary. I'm hoping that all of you will start communicating with each other, just kind of sharing and commenting on each other's comments. Let's make this a community and really a place that we enjoy coming to. And lastly, I just want to say, no need to rush if you're starting your apothecary journey. Just enjoy every step of the way. Let it be an unfolding, let it be something that connects deeply with who you are, and then it will be something that is yours in the long run. Just thought I'd let you know I'm here.